there is no doubt that being able to homeschool and have that extra time with them and focus on their learning style, their abilities, their callings, their giftings, all of those things was monumental.
I know that you were homeschooled in a time where that wasn't the thing, and then you chose to homeschool your kids. How much do you think that time at home and that education at home played into where they are now? And how do you think they were established for their futures that way?
Brother, it's impossible to overstate how important it was. I like you said, I did homeschool, private school, and public school. So I as a kid, I went through all three. And so having that experience of all three, I think really weighed into our decisions and kind of how we did things. And there is no doubt that being able to homeschool and have that extra time with them, being able to know when things weren't going well for them and be able to take the time to breathe into that and to spend time with that extra time with each of them and focus on their learning style, their abilities, their callings, their giftings, all of those things was monumental. And I know everybody can't do it. I get it. And I'm not, again, not to put a guilt trip on anybody that just absolutely cannot do it. But if you can find a way to do it, do it. It's 20 years that you will be thankful for 40 or 60 years afterwards. And that if you don't do it, I hope you're not regretting not doing it. And you only get that one chance, right? It's over when it's over. And it's just priceless. And I remember my wife saying when our oldest Trey was 5 or 6 or whatever, when he was expected to go off to the local school, she said, I just can't imagine handing him over to somebody else for most of his time and most of his week. I just can't do it. Right. And so we kind of stumbled, even though I had, like you said, it was when, I remember hiding under the bed when somebody knocked on the door. You didn't answer the front door because it wasn't even technically legal in some of the times when we were homeschooling. And yet for our kids, it was more so than me wanting to do it. My wife wanted to have that extra time with them and be able to sow into them. And she was amazing at it. Now some people would look up from the outside at our homeschooling and say they're terrible homeschoolers because we're not good with schedules, we're very non-traditional, but our kids got to see most of the battlefields and baseball parks and presidential museums and got to have fun learning. And she was just great at setting the tone for the house every morning and finding a way to respond to them however they woke up that day in a way that would move things in a positive direction. So she was just a master at it.
This episode of Rapid Response was brought to you by CTC Math. Visit them at ctcmath.com today.